If you are a psychiatry resident or medical student, you have probably faced the classic dilemma of what to prescribe for insomnia when you want to avoid benzodiazepines or Z-drugs. Enter lemborexant. Think of it as the newer kid on the insomnia block. Today we are breaking down exactly what you need to know about this high-yield medication for your clinical rotations and board exams. First, let us talk mechanism. Lemborexant is a dual orexin receptor antagonist, or DORA for short. Instead of slamming on the brain's brakes with GABA like traditional sedative hypnotics do, lemborexant simply takes its foot off the gas. It targets the wakefulness system directly by blocking orexin A and B at the OX1R and OX2R receptors, effectively reducing the brain's stay-awake signal. This mechanism makes a huge difference in its side effect profile. So when do you actually use it? It is approved for classic insomnia, but here is the major example. Unlike zolpidem, which is mostly just for getting people to sleep, lemborexant is highly effective for both sleep onset and sleep maintenance. This is because it has a longer half-life of around 17 to 19 hours. If your attending asks why you would choose lemborexant over zolpidem on rounds, your answer should be better sleep maintenance, a safer cognitive profile, and minimal risk of dependence. For dosing, the standard range is 5 to 10 milligrams taken orally right before bedtime. If you are treating elderly patients, always start at the 5 milligram dose because they are much more sensitive to sedation and fall risks. There is one golden rule you must tell your patients. They need to take it only when they have at least 7 hours left to sleep. If they take it before a short night, they are going to risk significant next-day grogginess and impairment. Also, advise them to avoid taking it with or right after a meal, as food can delay its onset. Now let us cover safety and side effects. Compared to older drugs, lemborexant is incredibly safe. There is virtually no tolerance or dependence, minimal cognitive blunting, and it is generally safer for patients with mild obstructive sleep apnea or COPD. Rebound insomnia is also very rare, making it a viable option for longer-term use. The most common side effect you will see is somnolence, with occasional headaches or fatigue. You should also warn patients about rare occurrences of sleep paralysis, nightmares, or complex sleep behaviors like sleepwalking, though these are much less common than with Z-drugs. Finally, keep an eye out for drug interactions. Lemborexant is primarily metabolized by CYP3A enzymes. You need to avoid co-administration with strong CYP3A inhibitors like ketoconazole, which will significantly spike the drug levels, and strong inducers, which will render it ineffective. It is also contraindicated in patients with narcolepsy and severe hepatic impairment. And it goes without saying, but remind your patients never to mix this with alcohol due to additive central nervous system sedation. If you found this breakdown helpful for your psychiatry rotation, make sure to like and subscribe for more high-yield psychopharmacology reviews, and let me know in the comments which medication you want to see covered next.